y'all know what it is. It's Revolt Radio, baby. 100.3 Memphis, Tennessee. It's your boy, Mr. Dale. I'm in the building, and I got the gang with me.
It's your girl, Murk, Miss P31.
It's your boy, Timo with the dance move.
And we got a very special guest for the I Am Memphis moment. Carrie is in the building.
Yeah.
What's up, girl?
What's up? How y'all doing?
Listen, man, we are so excited about having you here, man. You are such an awesome role model, an awesome personality, and I think the city just needs to get to know you.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you.
Now, what high school you go to? Now, we start off every interview with high school because, you know, Memphis is all about the high school. We don't care nothing about your college. We don't care nothing about your grade school, your middle school. It's about high school. And why is it about high school, Timo? Let the people know again.
Because the high school tells you everything you need to know about a person from Memphis. You ever seen ATL?
Yes, I have.
Okay, you know, what's her name? Nunu, she said, like, I watch him skate because that tells me everything I need to know about a man.
Okay.
It's like that. High school is synonymous with, I guess, how you skate in ATL.
So basically, when you give your high school, Timo is going to say what kind of person you are. So, what high school did you go to?
So I went to Bolton and Bartlett High School, but I want to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
Let's go first with Bolton.
All right. With Bolton's out in the sticks, kind of.
Okay.
So Bolton, they kind of country hood,
Yeah.
if you will. They're kind of country hood,
Lord.
you know.
And Bartlett?
Bartlett is right outside of like the Craigmont area. So y'all hood with a little bit of money. That's what that is.
Okay.
So would you agree?
I agree with you. I think, you know, it's crazy. All my life I've been going to like really, really city schools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, my mom and got married, and then we kind of moved up, you know, to the county area. I was like, but I ain't rich, y'all. Don't you think? I know where I came from. I might be going to Bartlett and Bolton. I might not be at Craigmont, but I still got the blood in me. I still fight. You gotta try me, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
Throw the holy oil on there.
Oh.
Just test me. I'm a fried in the pan before I do it.
Come on now. I love it. Now let's talk about your time at U of M. I know you went to U of M.
Yeah, some of the Tigers.
Uh-oh. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to U of M. What did you do there?
What did I do? Oh, I can't even think. University of Memphis, I study international economics. And I also study Asian Studies International Trade with a focus on Chinese. And I also ran track for them for 2.5 years. I was running mile, 2 mile, 800 meter. 800 meter relay. I also did hurdles for a minute.
Okay.
Too. A little high jump hurdle. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, how'd you get into that? Was that something that you liked as a child, or did somebody just kind of see it and like, hey, you got long legs, you ought to run?
Yeah, long legs, I have to run. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I've always been a natural runner. My dad, my real father, he actually was a runner too, really good. I think he said he pre-qualified for the Olympics as well.
Wow.
And I've always been a really good runner. And with the little time I stayed with him when I was younger for like 6 months, he used to wake me up at like 4 or 5 a.m. every morning, and I would have to literally run like 5 miles with him.
Wow.
Whew, Jesus.
Ooh.
Look, I was crying every day, but the reality is that by the time I made it to like 6th grade, 7th grade, I was out beating like all high school runners, and by the time I made it to college, you know, I was able to run in college. So yeah,
Crazy.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
It takes that.
So after college, what happens then?
After college, so there was a couple things like so I also had a minor like in theater. I really wanted to chase my dreams of acting and stuff, but a lot of people, like, I didn't tell everybody my dream because not everybody's gonna believe in you. And then some people that did, they were like, oh, that's just like a thing you want to do. You need to get a real job. So I always been an entrepreneur too. So I actually had soda startup before, like, I think right before I graduated college or right when I graduated college. And then I wanted to get into the startup camp, so I turned down all my job offers. And which was from like International Paper and a lot of cool, amazing companies. And then the co-founder that was going to be in the startup camp with me, he was unable to do it because his family in India like got really sick or something, and he had to go back. So then I ended up calling all the jobs and like, hey, what's up? This is Carrie Bernans, Carrie Connor at the time. I was like, are you guys, do you guys still need a marketing assistant or whatever, you know? Because I was like, I need a job. And long story short, ended up moving to Wisconsin and working for a company called Kimberly-Clark. And I worked there for a year, and it was a great company, but I was realizing that I wasn't really passionate about what I was doing. And the thing is that I was really great at what I was doing, and I was like, I feel like I was overachieving like all the goals and all the assessments, all the stuff, but they wouldn't move me up in like a leader, a higher position, or another team, because I had to be there for a year and a half. So they set the metrics on how fast I grew, but I was overachieving every single thing. I met all of my objectives and all of that. So you know what? I was like, you know what? I think my time here is cut short, and I decided to go to the NBA. So I worked for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Okay.
Wow.
And that was a really fun, amazing experience. But then I realized there, I was like, I love the team I was working on. I love the people. I love all of that. But I was working like between 45 to like 70 hours a week, depending on game days and everything else. And I just realized, you know what, if I'm going to put in all that time, I want to do it with something I'm really passionate about and I really want to do. And I had two big goals at the time, and I still have those goals. That I want to own an international company, and then like the other goal was I wanted to be like a major actress and like be a black girl James Bond. And I said, if there's any other time to do it, it's right now.
It's right now, yeah.
So I said, I was in a relationship at the time. I told the guy, I was like, hey, I'm moving to LA, and I'm quitting my job like next week or maybe this week, I don't know. And
whichever comes first.
yeah, it's like, so basically, you know, you can agree with me or not. And he was like, are you serious? And I went to LA, and I met up with some agencies that I submitted to online. And
wow.
Three of them set up interviews and meetings with me, and then I also set up some tours of some houses and some apartments. And I took like my savings and my last check that I had made from the NBA right before I quit, and I literally moved to LA, met with the first agency. They offered to sign me across the board in commercial, theatrical, print.
Wow.
And then I just said I canceled the rest of the meetings. I was like, well, I'm going with y'all. Y'all are the best. And then I signed the contract with them. Went to look at this house. I fell in love with it. It was like the rent was high at the time, but I knew that maybe we'll find a roommate. I put down like $3,000 or $4,000 as a deposit.
Okay.
Went back to Cleveland and quit my job. And then the week after, or 2 weeks following, I moved to LA.
So all of this happened in the course of how long? From you making the decision.
Making the decision
and going out there, like how?
Yeah, I mean, because I was already working for the NBA for almost like, I would say between like 9 to 11 months. And I realized like the season was over. I was like, nope, I am not going back for another season. I already had the realization for like 3 months. I was like, I'm putting in all these hours, and I'm like helping people improve their business, and I'm really good at selling stuff. And I can sell, if I can sell this product, or I can sell this, or I can present this, I can do that for myself.
Yeah.
You have to look at your stuff like a business as well.
Yeah.
So I said, if I invest this time into myself and I work something part-time, like driving Uber or whatever the case may be, then I will do it. And so really, a matter of like 3 months of thinking, nope, this is a lot of time, energy, and hours. And I feel like at the same time, there is still stagnant growth within the NBA. You still got to be a certain number of years or this and that, regardless of like if I speak 6 languages and I do all these amazing things, it just didn't matter as much to them at the time, but it mattered a lot to me. So once I said I'm quitting my job, moving to NBA, maybe like less than 2 months.
Wow. What languages do you speak?
As 我说中文我来中国1个月了 so I speak Mandarin Chinese.
Obviously. Obviously.
Way to prove it, girl.
¿Qué pasa? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Yo vivo en Panamá, Puerto Rico por 7 años, so hablo español.
Okay.
Bonjour, je dois dire cuisiner, voyager.
You go, girl.
A little croissant on, a little croissant. A little croissant for the butter.
That's 3.
Привет, как дела? Меня зовут Carrie. Спасибо. That's Russian.
Russian. I would have figured that out at the last word.
Yeah.
5.
Sveiki, как тебе? Is Estevi Mil. That's Latvian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And
And-
number 6.
Yo, what's up, yo? What you doing?
I love it. Now, explain to us, how did Black Panther come about?
So that's the amazing thing. Moving to LA 2 years ago and just like really hustling my butt off. I was like driving Uber at the time, like part time. I was doing like a little bit of everything because I knew I needed a flexible schedule for auditions and stuff. So I started learning like action stunts and because I knew I wanted to be like a black girl James Bond in like a movie one day.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I need to learn how to do stunts. So I started learning stunts, started learning a lot of different weapons, and one thing led to the next. I had like put like a video of me doing some bow staff stuff online, and I started sending this video to a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong. Now I look back at the video, and I know that my what do you call it? My routine or the way I carried the bow staff wasn't as professional or as like weapon etiquette like as it should have been. But people can tell I was trying, and I wasn't giving up. You know. So, long story short, someone referred my name to Ryan Coogler. I still don't know who the person is today, but Ryan Coogler is the director of Black Panther, and he was looking for additional girls that were Dora Milaje. I mean, that would be Dora Milaje warriors, and that new. I found out they said that new stunts and also new acting. And long story short, somebody referred my name to him. His production company called me at 6 a.m. in the morning. They were calling from Atlanta, so it was 9 a.m. their time. I was in LA, got a call. Hey, blah, 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 this is a production of Motherland. We were calling to see Mrs. Carrie Bernans. I was like, yeah, that's me. And then they were like, oh, Ryan Coogler got a referral to you. We wanted to see if you'd be interested in working on Motherland. And I was like, Motherland? What's Motherland? And I was like, is this Black Panther? Because 2 or 3 months prior, I actually kind of gave up on the dream of doing Black Panther. I found out about Black Panther my first year in LA towards the end. But everyone told me that it was already finished filming, and they were already filming like 8-9 months. So I didn't think that there was opportunity. I started to set, like 2 months prior, set my intentions on doing Black Panther 2. But I just said, maybe there's still a way. And I still kind of had a little hope that it was possible, but I wasn't 100% sure. Got that call. They asked me, was I willing to shave my head bald? I was on the phone with them, but that was like the last question that they asked me after they were asking me if I was available these days to fly out next week or fly out in a couple of days, blah, blah, blah. And then once they said shave my head bald, I was like, oh my God, I think this is Black Panther. And I was like, can you give me a couple of days to think about it, or a few hours or something? Which just sounds crazy now.
Yeah.
But because like at the time I had naturally curly hair that was really long, and my hair was actually finally booking me stuff. So I was really excited about the opportunities that me and my hair could go. So I was like, dang, man. But then thankfully I have like great mentors, which I tell everybody to get a great mentor. I went to my action stunts class where I was learning martial arts, and my mentors, I asked him like, hey, I got a call, and I think it's Black Panther, and they want me to shave my head bald. He asked the class, what would you do to work in a Marvel movie? You know, would you shave your head bald for this opportunity? And some people was like, yeah, and some people was like, no. But a lot of people say, yeah. He's like, call them back right now. He says, because the opportunity door opens and closes like in a matter of seconds, and especially in Hollywood. Like somebody offers you a role, if you don't accept it, they'll offer another person a role. They don't take it, they offer another person.
Right.
Because there's people that's getting off the bus every, 15 minutes there trying to chase their dreams. But thankfully, I called them back. I was like, hey, are you guys still available?
Yeah.
Do you still want me? They were like, absolutely. I was like, I'll shave my head right now if I have to. Whatever I gotta do. Thankfully, they were like, no worries, Carrie. We already had your name down. We already have you.
Wow.
Ryan Coogler wants you, so...
That's amazing.
How did it feel doing, was this your first movie?
That was. So I did like an indie film called With Family Treasure when I was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a low budget indie film. I don't even know if I got paid. I think it was like deferred pay for it. Okay. But it was fun because I had like this throw up machine that came on the side of me, so I threw up on this boy on a date. And I remember that coming out. But it was my first box office film of an actual studio name, and like all of that. And it was actually like the first time that I got flown out of state, and then they put me in a hotel and they're on dime, gave me food to eat like every day, and transportation to go back and forth to rehearsals and back and forth to filming. And it was like a complete transformational experience, not only for my hair but also mentally, like as a person, because these are the things that I had dreamed about. And to just see, and the things that I wrote in my vision, and the things that I said and prayed to God that I really, really wanted, and for it to like come to pass in that way. And then even the symbolization of like having to shave my head was transformational. Like the only reason I said yes was not because of the students too, although my mentor was right, but I developed a yes in my head over the next like 2 weeks prior to my hair being shaved off, was with like thinking about how young boys and girls would think of it. Like, is my hair really that much of an image that I'm gonna carry that is gonna define how beautiful I am, or how important I am, or how confident I am? And I said, I wanna show no matter what, if you got nappy hair, good hair, bad hair, because you know kids in school be saying a lot of things. No hair, like, you're still amazing, you're still beautiful, you still can be confident.
Black, bold, and beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, how much did your faith play a part? I hear you talking about you wrote down the vision. I heard you talking about praying, and that's something big that we believe in here. How important was your faith in this journey?
Oh, hugely important. I mean, thankfully, like, I think I like recommitted my life to Christ when I was like maybe 12, 13, and not that I didn't know God before, because although we moved around a lot when I was younger, my mom would always be like, well, let's pray, God's gonna help us. Like, we wouldn't have gas in the car, but I believe God's gonna allow somebody to give us gas money, and then like somehow God, like somebody would come up to us and be like, hey, we want to give you $50, like for my mom. And I'm like, what? Like, God, where are you?
Yeah.
So amazing. So I always had faith and believe like that the situation, no matter where you were in life, it will always get better. So when I went to LA, like I did that as a faith walk. I did it like moving from Cleveland to LA wasn't just me. God showed me dreams about me being like big. God showed me dreams of receiving awards, and it wasn't for my fame or my status. It's because I'm putting Him at the forefront, because I'm putting other lives and people that's going to be affected by what I do, you know? Yeah. So I'm just a vessel being used, and I just said, well, I got to prove to myself and to other people that if you believe you can do it, you're halfway there. Now you just got to put the faith and the action together, because faith without works is dead. So when I moved to LA and I was driving Uber, I still prayed every day. I was like, God, today you're going to connect me with somebody that's so important, that's going to change my life. And every journey and every trip was amazing. Like my second person I met was Tim Carroll, which is the CEO of Bucket Dream. And I wasn't even looking for no job, because I said, I don't want no job because I don't want to be like taxing no desk or this and that. And this guy was like, he said, I know you're driving Uber. I know it's your second ride, but because he was asking me what do I do. I was like, I'm an actress. This and that. I have big dreams. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna do this. And this is before I had any big credits or anything. He was like, I want you to meet me at my hotel in 30 minutes. I was like, what? And he's like, for an interview in the lobby. We're gonna have coffee. Don't worry, no type of like scandal or weird thing. He's like, I want to interview you for a job. I was like, oh, I'm not looking for a job, sir. And he's like, well, this one's gonna be really flexible. I think it's gonna help you. You won't have to drive Uber, and you can chase your dreams. And I was like, okay. I wasn't really looking for a job. I remember calling my mom and was like, oh, this guy wants to offer me a job. I don't know. Because I know I'm smart. I know I can have any job in the world that I want to have, you know? Right. But anyways, I remember running home, changing clothes, running back like 30 minutes later at the hotel, met with this guy, and I remember he told me they were on the Ellen show. So I was like, oh, well, shoot. Whoever this company is, I want to get to know him one way or another. My other dream is owning an international company, you know? Right. And a successful $1 billion one.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on, speak it.
Yes, speak it into existence. I believe life and death is in the power of the tongue.
Yes,
you can speak life over whatever you want, or you can speak death over it. You can kill your dreams, or you can nourish them and grow them, you know?
That's right.
So I went and met him, and long story short, he was like, I want to give you a job. It's flexible on your own time. And it's marketing and doing social media. And I was already working social media with Microsoft before, like when I was in college, which I know it sounds like I did a million things, but I also did that too. So I was like, oh my God, okay, cool. Social media is so easy. Like, I'm an expert at social media at the time, you know?
Right.
And long story short, did that and I made good money. And then I didn't really have to drive Uber. And it was on my own time. But then that I ended up having to quit that like after a year because then I started investing even more hours and even more time and really, really growing their company and working in marketing in other areas. And I was like, you know what? I'm putting much more energy in this than I am my acting.
Right.
And once I was able to say, all right, walk out on faith again and just let go of this job. Because sometimes I feel like in life it's not that we don't want to get comfortable or complacent, but we do get comfortable and complacent in the wrong areas of life. And sometimes when in a matter of chasing your dreams, you got to be willing to not be comfortable and also give up complacency of where you're at and the comfortability of getting a check every single month from the same source of income because you have a consistent job that you go in to work 8 to 4. And when you're chasing your dreams, and it's like sometimes in this dream chasing, you just have to believe that one job might pay for your income for the next 4 or 5 months while you're still on that journey. Yeah. And then the next month, you might also get another opportunity that's going to cover 4 or 5 months, and all that money adds up. And then next year, you never know what things look like. But you just got to trust and believe and keep walking out in faith and, you know, pray about things too. You know, don't go into things like blindly, but faith is you don't see it before it happens. So remember, faith is visualizing in your mind where you want to be. So I'm a firm believer of vision boards and cutting out pictures of what you want. And imagine yourself driving that Porsche or that Range Rover or whatever that is. And then imagine yourself having a driver if that's what you want. Imagine yourself being on the stage in front of tens and thousands or millions of people or whatever that looks like, you know? Yeah. Because your thoughts are powerful. And I'll leave this because I know this is a really long answer to your question. It's like your brain is a powerful thing. Your brain can't tell the difference between reality and a dream. So even if you're dreaming it and you're really getting in depth with your dream, your brain thinks that it's true. And if you continue to feed yourself that whatever that vision it is true, it can become reality. So you gotta just keep that faith walk, and that's a huge thing. Like, I mean, when I tell you that this year, 80% of my goals on my vision board came true, and sometimes it took the 6th or 7th month of the year for it to come true. But you can't give up. You still gotta keep the faith. You gotta keep walking. You gotta I don't know why I feel the need to share this, but I shared this to a friend of mine just this morning, is that even along this journey of chasing your dreams, you're going to go through the valley. You're going to go through hard times. You're going to go through times where you feel like your skin is cracking because you need water. You need hydration. You need to just see a river just to get some to keep you going by. And God is going to provide that. You just got to be willing to say, God, I need you, and we're on this journey together. I'm not alone. And as soon as you admit that you're not alone and you're with Him, you're going to be provided that just enough water, just enough energy just to get you to the next step. And that valley prepares you to climb the hills and climb the steps. And as you go up, you'll remember that valley walk. You're going to remember all it took to get there. You know, it's just hurdles. You got to keep climbing the hurdles. You got to keep jumping over them. And all it's going to do is prepare you to not give up when you have to climb the next biggest step in life, you know? So, yeah.
Now, what's your cash app? I ain't got no Marvel money, but you about to get this $10.
I know you're about to show an offering.
You just spoke a word.
She just spoke an amazing word.
Well, thank you. Carrie Bernans, I'll donate it to other people.
Beautiful.
No, but seriously.
Your international business. Tell us about that. What's the international business you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys know, like Jessica Alba, she did Honey and all those other movies. Yeah. So she actually, is a very successful actress, and she owns an international company called. Is it called Honey too? No, I can't even think of the name of it right now.
Oh, okay.
Jessica Alba's company. Because now I really want to know the name of it. Sorry, Jessica Alba company. Yeah, let's figure this out. Her company is called Honey. Hold on.
Wow.
I think so. Isn't it?
You looking at it?
Honest.
Okay.
Honest.
You had the age right. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So it's it's a $1 billion company. So and she sells a lot of consumer products like organic, like diapers, organic,
Really?
like tampons
So
and
know that.
feminine products and other stuff like that. So I want to do something similar to that. I don't want to steal her ideal per se, but I do believe in like organic and very natural stuff. So I want to do stuff like probiotic vitamins and stuff for like women and to help balance their pH levels.
Yeah.
So I want that alone I feel like is a multi-million dollar, possibly
Yeah.
$1 billion dollar
Wow.
company. And then also to focus on just I want to do both men and women, but my main focus mainly is on women and like the healthcare and like feminine, like just feeling confident about who you are, the products that you use on your face, because the thing is that no matter whatever you put on your face, it absorbs in your body within 15 seconds. So even if it's like makeup on your face, your skin is your biggest organ on your body, and it absorbs into the rest of your body and goes in your bloodstream in one way or another. It may not be hugely in your bloodstream because that would be super dangerous, but you have to realize, you know, whatever you put on you or in you is going to absorb in the rest of your body, and it's going to, you know, project like how long you live and all of those other things. So I'm really big on healthcare and also natural products. I'm not a big person on, I know a lot of people like take like medicine, doctors prescribe them and stuff like that, which I don't say stay away from doctors, but I am not a big proponent of medicine whatsoever. Like I think that natural healing is really important for you. And all that. So I'm still developing the ideals of that.
Well, I think that is amazing.
That's part
Incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what's next for Carrie? Any more movies coming up down the pipeline? What's next?
Absolutely. So I thankfully was cast in the movie Avengers Endgame. So I don't know if you guys saw Infinity War. Yeah, that came out. So Endgame comes out next year. Thank you.
Well,
so
hopefully
much.
Endgames is better than Infinity Wars, because we left that disappointed, didn't we, Timo?
I know.
I mean, kinda. I ended up liking it.
They liked it. I did.
Thank
Because
you.
everybody died,
we didn't like
they
it.
disappeared.
I don't know. It just didn't give me the first Infinity Wars. Well, the first Avengers I loved.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but just something. I was knocked out at the theater. I was knocked out.
Oh gosh.
And I tried again. It just wasn't. Just wasn't gluing it together. But because you're gonna be an Endgame,
It's gonna
I know
be
it's
good.
gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Because you're in it. It's
I'll
good.
go back. I will give them another chance.
Thank you.
So Endgame, what else? Black Panther 2?
Well, I can't talk about that.
Oh, okay, all right.
But, I mean,
We're gonna say yes.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna say.
In Jesus'
Yeah, in Jesus' name.
I did a really amazing acting role playing a Congolese mother on a CBS show called SEAL Team.
Okay.
So it'll be out next year.
Okay.
On season 2, 3 of that. I gotta check and see what season they're on. Sorry. But I'm excited about that. I can't remember which episode. I think episode 4, but don't quote me. I'll put it on my Facebook, Instagram, all that.
All right.
But I'm super excited about that role because the director and like the casting director that casted me, they called me and told me like how incredible it was and gut wrenching once they watched the scene the day after filming.
Wow.
So just to even get that like
I can't wait to see
response
it.
was amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that. And I really see God really fulfilling every dream that you have. I see that.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm just speaking over your life right now because you have a heart and you have the type of heart that God wants to use in this season.
Thank you.
And I believe God is going to bless you just because of your heart.
Thank you.
So, what advice do you have for the young people before we go? Anybody that's young, aspiring to do what you did, I mean, I know that people are going to look at this, especially young women, and see someone who's a role model. I mean, because you're young.
Yeah.
And you went after this, like, immediately. When I listen to your journey, I don't hear no days off. I just hear, all right, from high school, college, this. I mean, what advice would you give to a young girl in Memphis that looks at you and like, wow.
Yeah, I would tell them that you can do anything that you set your mind to. You can do any of your dreams, that whatever you have, you can do. And to keep this quote somewhere that you see it every day, and it's one day or day one. So you can always say, one day I'm going to do this, oh, tomorrow I'm going to do this, because I hear people say that all the time, you know, like, oh, I'll start next year, or I'll start next week. Why don't you start right now? Today can be day one.
Come on.
And day one is literally writing the vision down of what you want. Yeah. Day 2 might be writing another vision. Day 3 might be looking at vision number 1 and figuring out how you can break it down and plan it, you know? And then maybe day 3 is picking up the phone and calling somebody to help you flush that vision out even more, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say one day or day one, and I would say, remember, like, come up with like a list of like 10 quotes of staying, like, stuff that's going to keep you motivated. So when the journey gets tough, because it will get tough,
Oh, yeah.
you
Yes,
can
it will.
read these quotes and you can say it out loud. Well, with God, all things are possible. I won't give up. Michael Jordan took 10,000 shots. You know, he didn't even make his high school team until the junior year or whatever the year was, you know, like, and remind yourself of the people that went before you. Maybe they don't have the same dream as you, but they definitely took hurdles. They took over, you know, they went over something to get to where they're at. So just remind yourself that, and keep God first, and pray about things, and have faith. And you have to ignore the naysayers, ignore the noise, because people are going to say, oh, you can't do that, you're dreaming too big. It's because their brain, that they taught themselves to dream smaller. That's it. I believe that, you know, it's not that you're dreaming too big, your dream is just right, and you might need to dream even bigger to keep reaching that goal even more, you know? But you gotta ignore the noise, and you know, not that you gotta shut out your parents or, you know, your friends, but you just gotta kind of put them in a category, and you gotta focus your time and energy on the things that's gonna help you, and surround yourself around the people that's gonna uplift you, grow you, help you. Maybe listen to some audiobooks and read some books. I mean, those books, like with Warren Buffett and Think Rich, Think Something Grow Rich. Like, all those books are really good, and it talks about persistence. It talks about people giving up and then still winning. And even stories in the Bible. Just think about how David had took out a whole giant with a little rock. So don't tell me you can achieve a big dream when that happens. You know,
come on,
like, you can do anything you put your mind to. You just gotta believe it. Put the action there. Don't be lazy. Don't procrastinate. Do one thing every day that's gonna help you reach your dream. And no matter the time, your dreams are all gonna start coming true. And then you're gonna come up with even bigger dreams. And whatever you do, start giving back. Help somebody today. You don't have to be rich to help anybody. You don't have to be rich to offer a hand. You don't have to be rich to just pick up trash off the street and do something that's gonna not only build your spirits but help the people around you.
Words from Queen Carrie. Thank you so much for coming out, man. We speak nothing but blessings on your life, and we will have you back most definitely. Most definitely. You listen to Revolt Radio, y'all. Good morning.